What's this? It's my bald head. What's going on here? How to make dub techno sounds on a synthesizer. That is today's video. Let's go do it right now. Hey yo, check it out, I'm Analog Kitchen and thank you for checking out yet another video. If this is your first time here, don't hesitate to click subscribe. You'll be updated whenever I upload a new video, but that is if you click that bell icon as well. You'll be kept in the loop, you won't miss out on anything. And it's time for the weekly roundup of patrons that have joined up on patreon.com/Analog Kitchen. Patreon is connected to Discord and that is where the magic happens. We are building a cool community and we are talking about synths, we're talking about DIY stuff, we're talking about modular stuff, we're talking about setups, we're talking about how to connect stuff, we are talking about how to transport stuff. Come on, whatever you want to know about synths, that is the place. Now, new patrons this week are, I'm reading it off my notes here. Come on, Dan Parker Bensel, Sam Lawton, Eddie Muggleton, La Chambre, Walter Timmermans, and John H. Welcome, guys. Now, obviously, you heard me talk about my mixer that I'm actually currently developing. That is, if you follow this channel. I'm happy to say that I put a lot of work in the faceplate this week, so it was really a daunting task to find out like what different potentiometers are we going to use and how big are the holes, what's going to go where. It's just absolutely like looking at what is going to go where, and it's looking absolutely amazing. I will not tell you everything. What I will tell you is that it's going to be a hybrid between a club and a studio mixer. So the best things you have from a DJ mixer, like pre-fader listening and auxiliary sends and stuff, that's just the basic stuff. That's going to be like there in full, let me put it that way. And the stuff that you know from a studio mixer, whereas you can utilize multiple ways of connecting stuff to it. So, and especially the routing in where you would like certain things to go, that's also a big part of the mixer. So but it was hard trying to figure out what goes where, because I don't want that mixer to be too big, obviously, but you don't want it to be something that you end up saying like, wow, I wish this was on it, or I wish that was on it. So I was talking to a lot of the patrons actually and discussing like, what do you think it is and how do you think that would work out? And it's really cool. I mean, at the end of the day, you guys are helping support that fact. So I would like to say thank you. I would like to say thanks to all my patrons out there. You know, I mean, you guys rock. Obviously, I'm doing this because, yeah, I really get a kick out of, like, you know, talking about that synth stuff. There was a time that it wasn't really that kind of cool to just like do it. It was like a bit of a niche, which it still is, but you know what? There's strength in numbers and the numbers are growing. So thank you for that. Now the genre dub techno is, you know, it's a different kind of kettle of fish really. It's more leaning towards how the sounds sit within the mix and how the dubby effects can sit over it. And there is a really small bridge between dub techno and the deeper side of progressive. If you're listening to the old basic channel stuff, like what Maurizio was doing, that was absolutely like really some of the cool stuff. Also a French label called FNAC, F-N-A-C, where Laurent Gaillet released a lot of his old stuff on. That was also a dub techno label. And yeah, you hear that sound and you recognize it because it's not so much driving the melodic side of things, even though guys like Petr Domdov have adopted the melodic techno vibe together with the dub techno sort of like vibe, you know, so that's a cross in between. So I thought to do a little bit of a hybrid kind of mix today, my usual bouncing around kind of happy kind of vibe, but then with not so many sounds. You know, when it comes to melodic techno or certain techno sounds, there's a lot of musical information that goes in there, and today I wanted to just like focus on one synth in particular, because looking at the Model D, it's a synthesizer that can do bass, and I will do bass towards the end of the jam, I think, but I wanted to go in and just make a completely different sound. So links to the equipment noted in the fold below. That means click the page and the page will open and you'll see all the affiliate links, let me tell you that straight up, to what it is that I'm using, my equipment, the knobs, the wiring, everything, the fly case, you know, everything that I'm using, that's pretty much noted down there. So if you want to find out anything about it, you know, you won't be breaking the bank, by the way, so that'll be cool. Also, Bandcamp. I think this is one of those jams that I'm going to like finalize and stick on Bandcamp actually. So if you're interested, you like the kind of flow, it's a bit old school with the 909 and stuff, you know. So I'll probably stick that on Bandcamp. So go check that out as well. And while you're sitting behind your computer, if you like the samples that I'm using, I did make a sample pack and that's available for purchase obviously. So if you're interested in getting that kind of vibe that I'm doing, you want to get into that sound, you support a brother and you get some really cool sounds custom made. There you go. So I'll put a link up somewhere on screen. I don't know where, somewhere. So go check it out. All right? All right, enough waffling, babbling. Let's go and do it. All right guys, so briefly what's over the live set right here. I've got the Analog Factory Experience, the MIDI keyboard set up again, because I want to just like utilize playing stuff not only on the pads but also on a synthesizer which is over on the side. It's not a synthesizer, it's a MIDI controller actually. I've got the 909 still sitting there from previous videos because I thought to just like go in with the drums. I thought they were absolutely cool, so let's do that. Now, the Akai MPC Live over here, the Octatrack over here, Minitaur, the Model D, and the audio thing is Micro Monster, which is over here. I've got the multi-clock right here that's sending out the sync signal to everything. Certain things get a MIDI pulse, and some things are getting sequenced by just recording the MIDI information pretty much. So the Moog, the Model D, and the audio things Micro Monster, and the Tetra, which I didn't mention, which is over here, those get MIDI'd into the Akai MPC Live. The Akai MPC Live is joined at the hip with the Octatrack over here. Both of them just jump in the same time, so I got like program change going from the Akai to the Electron Octatrack, telling it to just stop on the first one and reset on the last of the measure so that it will jump in time. It will switch the sequence in time, otherwise it will get the program change late and it will just stick for 4 bars within the previous pattern when this one has already switched. There's videos on that on the channel as well today. Now the Model D is a very cool synth that I use extensively, and today I wanted to just like make completely different sounds with it, to be honest. Now, dub techno is some sort of a direction that I really love, but I don't play it too much. Now, what I've done over on the Octatrack, as I've set my stuff up, is on the Octatrack here is where I mainly use one-shots and chop up samples, because this is a beat mangler, a completely different kind of sequencer slash sampler in comparison to the Akai MPC Live, which is more of a hub where you can play certain sequence lengths that you can't do on the Octatrack. The Octatrack can play longer sequence lengths than the 64 steps that it's got now, but that means you have to just put it in half tempo, and that means that if you played something on MIDI, which you can do here as well, it will also play half tempo. So that's not what you want, because it is too slow. Now, what I will do now is I'll play a sample and hold sample that's coming from my sample pack, which you can find by clicking on a link which is going to pop up on the screen right now. That's on track 1. So I've got 4 tracks here. Let's play that. Let's play it from here. Now, I've chosen this sample because this is a kind of flow, a kind of vibe that's instantly, it's got a lot of information that is going for it. What do I mean with that? When I'm using samples to drive a groove, I want that sample to not be that audible, not to be too two-dimensional, so you can initially hear what everything is. I want you to listen to it and really think like, hey, where are all the sounds coming from? So there's high-end frequency content in this sample and low-end frequency content, and it's got the call and response embedded in it, so which means this will be a very good catalyst to drive the music initially. Now it's the thing we focus on because it's the only thing we hear. As soon as I start to add more stuff to it, you'll find out that it's like a completely different kind of flow. Let's add a TB03 line like so. Nice. That's what we want. Now, I've got my kick on the TR909. That's sitting on the multi-clock channel 3. Channel 2, as you can hear, is the TB03. Channel 1 is not being used in the multi-clock, and channel 4 is the Akai MPC Live and the Octatrack. So those two are a team. Let's enter a kick drum. Bam. Yeah, nice. Now, also off camera, I've got a Launch Control XL that is linked up to the Akai MPC Live because for some MIDI mapping capabilities, I have set that up. So there's 8 faders, obviously, for my drums. But you know that if you watch this channel, then you know exactly what that setup is all about. Sometimes I map out more stuff, but for now, it's only some stuff that I got hidden in the back, like an extra hi-hat, for instance, that plays this, which is a hi-hat that comes from the 909, but I've sampled it, resampled it, added it, and made it a little bit, more gritty, so that if I'm doing a long set with only the 909, you need a bit of variation. Now, let's add another drum pattern. See what we got. What we got here. Right cymbal, nice. Now, what I want to do is see if I can make a Dobby kind of vibe. Let's lower the filter here. Go back to my kick drum. Yeah, nice. That's a bit of a shaker that I've got hidden away also on the Octatrack as well on track 4. This is what happens if it's gone. So it gels things together. Boom. Check it, check it. All right, let's go in. Let's see if we can actually find our Model D, which is here. I will go into the Octatrack because this thing gets rooted in an input on the Octatrack. As you can hear, there's delay on there. So what I'm going to do is start reasonably from scratch. I will go in, I'll go out of this page. I'll go on my track 7, which is where I've got a through machine headed from the Model D going into the Octatrack, out of the Octatrack onto the mixer, which is an L12 Zoom mixer today. In the process of building my own one and looking absolutely nice. I told you about it. Okay, I've got 2 effect sections on the Octatrack. Let's go for effect 2. And effect 2 is delay. Now I will turn it off now, which means that the send level is already gone. Yeah, I've got nothing automated. Now what I will do is this is the key. I will go in and see if... Okay, turn everything off. Now basically, if you don't know the Model D's got 3 oscillators, and what I would do now is start with the first oscillator, and what I want is a chord. It's cool that it's got 3 oscillators because I'm going to make a chord out of 3 different notes, and that needs to be very repetitive. So what I will do is turn this one on. Yeah. Now I will go in. The first of the waveforms is a sawtooth ramp up, which is what I think I will change into. I'll go for a square. Nice. Let's record that. Did I get it? See? I got it. Come on. Okay, nice. Now I will shorten the note. The attack is also all the way to the bottom in the envelope. All right, I like this. I've got the overdrive almost on 3 o'clock. It gets a little bit thinner if you just turn that off. Okay, let's find a second oscillator. That's on a ramp up, which is the third one. The pitch is, the first one is on 16 and the second one is going to be on 8. It goes up, low, 32, 16, 8, 4 and 2. I think I like this actually. You can hear a little bit of that high-end content there. Now what I think I will introduce now is the delay again. Alright, now this oscillator now, the third one, is nice. Put that also on the second square wave, on the second one. Now what I will do, I'll turn this off and turn this off on the octa track. I will just and also go to pattern 16, which is an empty pattern on the 909. Turn off the TB03 and let's just listen to what we got here. First of all, let's dry it up a bit, which means I'm taking out the effects. Now this sound, I deliberately detuned the third oscillator a little bit. This is where the chord becomes. So it's going to be a little bit higher. Because I want it to drift a little bit. Shorten the note. And now I will listen to the attack and open that up a little bit. Instead of the tuck, 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 the T, letter T, I would like to have a little bit of a wah, 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 wah. So it will gel better with the groove that I have and the beats that I'm using. Pattern. Yeah. So the note length is very important in terms of how it sits on top of your kick drum. So in an ABC category of a beat that we're using, we're looking at, can we make sure that those two sounds work together? Because for dub techno you don't want to be using too many sounds. I think that today it's only going to be about drums and about the TB03 as a driver and this sound. This should be it. So we need to really make it count, right? All right, turn this off. And I think that the second oscillator can go up in pitch as well. That's the whole trick. Lower the attack a little bit. So I needed to, it needs to be almost like a percussive kind of sound when you enter it into the room first. Now, okay, let's play a kick drum. And put some effect on here. I like that. Let's add that in. Yeah. Check out my closed head. Lower the delay a little bit. And put the TB03 underneath. Yeah, I'm liking that. What I'm going to do with the TB03 is there's overdrive on it, so you can get a little bit crazy. Listen to this. So there's a sawtooth and there's a square wave. I'll put it on the triangle. What am I talking about? Triangle here. And now I'm going to put a little bit more of the, listen to the delay. Now we're going to look for a setting that's a bit hypnotizing, not too short. There you go. Lower it. Yeah, I think I'm liking that. Cool. Now lower the filter on the Model D and go in. Nice. So now you can focus on different things. For instance, we can open up our hat a little bit more and open the filter on the... See? Building tension. That's what I like. Now the whole trick is to just now go to a different pattern, get a high going. Different pattern. Yeah, go for a different pattern again. Clap. And a snare. Nice. Different pattern again. Go back to our first pattern and listen to what I'm doing with the Model D. That delay, I'm looking for a certain setting where you don't really hear it when the filter is down, but you'll hear it. And that's where the dubbiness comes in. This is what I like. Like it? No, I don't like it. Let's get out of there. Let's see if we can record a new sequence, because I think that I can stick something else on this beat that's going to help me out. Go in. Yep, liking that. Here we go. Ooh. Okay, sample and hold. I'm liking that. Make use of the delay. And that same thing can go on with the PBO3, which has got a delay as well. So what we're going to do is turn off the 909 drum computer and play around with a drop, something like this. Turn it off. Go in for the first pattern, turn down the hat and play just a simple kick. Turn the 909 off. Go in for a different pattern and set yourself up to go. Here we go. Loving it. Now what you can do as well, I didn't do it this time because sometimes for this kind of sound you would like to just stay within how are your drum sounds working and how are the bass notes working. I can add another sound into it which shouldn't really be taking the attention away from what I am doing already. So I will go to the almighty Minitaur. Let's see if I can find a sound that I like. Roll up. I think I like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and do it again. I'm liking this. Dirty. Now what I will do on the Minitaur is make that sound a little bit more gritty as well. Turn the drums off. You hear how the sample and hold is just picking your brain here? Put a shaker in there just to gel up that higher frequency. So now all the sounds are working together and we can build up our drums again. So build up our sound. Drums. Yeah, and to some snare sounds. And obviously, turn this off. The thing obviously with this kind of sound is, you know, I'm just standing here by myself, but usually if you perform this kind of sound, this kind of vibe, you will see that everything will just go in gradually and smoothly, and you know, you're not in a hurry. So yeah, it's a cool vibe, it's a cool sound, and I love I like the fact that that Model D is very versatile. For instance, let me turn everything off again. Those two off. Drums off. Let's change the sound around completely. Let's see what we can do. And that's where you go. Now you make a bass out of it. Mix in the sounds, put a little bit of noise on there. Detune this. Nice, okay, different sound. Shorter notes. Put your kick drum underneath. Now you got a bit of a Reese bass. Yeah, hypnotizing. Close down at the hi-hat because it's a little bit too aggressive. Stick a sample and hold sample in there. Now, because we had this playing as a bass, let's see if we can up it an octave. That's a TBO3. Let's see what happens if we play it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Play it. And if you play around with the filters, the only thing you hear is that high note, bow, bow. Because if I open the filter, you hear all the notes it plays. Which is nice, but you will play around with that and play that later. Let's put a little bit more aggression on my Model D. Nice one. Nice one. I don't know if you have this experience. If you ever played live, the second that you get off stage is like everything, your serotonin, your adrenaline, everything's high. You know, I'm like, I don't know what it is. But so many years I still get riled up playing live kind of stuff, and yeah, really like it. So I hope that you liked it as well. This is just my way of doing things. It's by no means something that I think I should stick on the wall of a museum, but in the end of the day, I do think you can take certain things away from the way I do it. Pretty soon I'm looking at a really cool high-end synthesizer that I'm going to be using. I'm going to add something to my live set. that is definitely going to benefit the sound, because I'm looking for a polyphonic sort of like a sound to go on top of those mono synths. I do think that I know my setup well enough that I can enter another culprit into the mix. Now, let me know what your favorite synthesizer is, by the way. What is the synthesizer you use if the world came to an end tomorrow? I'm talking about tomorrow. Which synth would you bring to that one place in the world where they can't get to you? Let me know. All right? Don't be a stranger. Hit that subscribe button if you didn't do so already. And if not anything else, I will see you next week on another video. I thought I was not going to say that, right? On another video. Peace.